Hello. I'm that friend who's always late to the party, so I'm going to apologise to Joey right now. Although I'm not late, I'm a bit on the drag compared to everybody else. So this is my collaboration video for journal ideas for 2021, and this collaboration was put together by Joey, so a massive thank you to Joey. It's a worldwide collaboration with some crafters that you'll recognise and maybe a couple you won't, but you need to check them all out. The links will all be down below. We've got 49 Dragonflies, ARTYmaze, Shabbydabbydoodah, Roxy Creations, Gayle Agostinelli and Helen Colebrook, and we've all put together a video to give you some ideas to move forward into 2021 when you're creating your journals. So I'm doing something a little bit different because I found it really difficult to move away from what other people had done, because watching their videos just made me want to do something similar. So it's taken me a little while, and I do actually have a freebie for you guys at the end of this. It's not related to my project, but I'll talk a little bit more about that at the end. So I was thinking about how difficult 2020 was and how I want to be more positive and help other people be more positive in 2021, and that's the freebies related to that. But it's also related to my project. So my project was initially inspired by Seth Apter, and it kind of grew. I started off making a couple of items a bit like Seth had made, and it grew into something very different, which became something I've created now as book jewellery, as embellishments to go onto my junk journals, and I thought you might like them too. They're actually I'm calling these wish sticks or dream sticks or something similar. I'm not quite sure yet, but you'll see why I'm calling them that shortly. Now, they're kind of like a giant boho bead, but they're also very tactile, and you know, they can be hung onto a a journal if you wish. So they're kind of journal related, but I hope you think so anyway. They feel really nice. You can mix and match things that you use, and I'm going to make a couple today and show you two hopefully completely different styles, and you can see these two actually ended up very different. These are going out in Happy Mail fairly shortly, well, as soon as the post is improved. So I'm doing this to use some of the odds and ends bits of stuff that I have hanging around. I've used most of the really bad paintbrushes, but I have some old pencils with kind of bits stuck on the bottom, and this one which has never been used, but that's quite bright and colourful. Paintbrushes. This was a pen that stopped working, so I just pulled the nib out of that. But that's perfect. So if you've got any old colouring pencils or paintbrushes, anything that you don't want anymore, these are perfect for this project. I've got a selection of beads and charms and just dangly stuff. I've got my scrap trim. I've got some wools and bits and pieces, and I've also got my wires and small beads. Now this is kind of optional, but I'm going to be using those, and it doesn't really matter what size or what colour, you know, you can just go for it and use up what you've got. So to start with, I'm going to go for this black pencil and this no, actually I'm going to use the black paintbrush. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do, and this is kind of one of those things that you're going to go, why have you done that, because no one's ever going to see it, but it's the point of this for me. I've just got a scrap piece of paper here and a pen, and I'm going to write down very quickly my wish for the person who this is going to. It's my wish for them for 2021, but it's quite personal, so I'm going to actually do this off camera. Okay, so this is my wish, and I'm going to fold it. And so nobody's ever going to see this, but this is my wish for this person that I'm sending it to. Now I've got medical tape, but you can use absolutely any tape that you have. Okay, so I'm just going to start off by tearing a piece off, and I'm just going to hold these together with my little wish and just wrap that around the start of my stick. And now I'm going to just take a little bit more. Now you could build this up as much as you wanted to with tape or paper or fabric or whatever you have, and this certainly does not have to be neat and tidy, this particular part. It's just to hold these together so we can now work with them. Now I started by using a lot of wire from the very beginning, but you can only actually see the top couple of layers of wire, so I'm now no longer going to waste so much wire, and I'm going to start wrapping. This is where you do need your wire or something similar, and I'm using this heavier wire to start with. It is 81 millimeters. I don't know what gauge that is. 20 gauge maybe. This is just a slightly thicker wire, and I'm just going to pull a piece off and trim that. This is just to make the loop in order to use this on your journals. Okay, so what I do is I just make a loop, you know, it's quite long. Put my finger in there, make the loop a reasonable size, and I'm just going to twist all that together. Now I know it's quite long, but that's okay. So I'm going to put that in a place where it can be hung. And then I'm going to take another piece of tape. Oh no. This is usually pretty good, and you don't usually lose the end of this tape. I would have done this on between those pencils actually. I want to get it fairly close to the top. And I'm going to wrap that around the top. Like I said, this first bit is quite untidy, and that's fine. And then I'm going to just take this piece of wire that's left and wrap that round. Okay, that's all going to get covered up. But now I've got my loop at the top, and I know that pencil is broken, but I actually really like that look, so I'm leaving that. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to my scrap sari silk, and what I'm going to do is, I want this a bit thinner actually, just at the top there. I want a little piece hanging out of the top, you see, to make that. And I'm just going to start wrapping. I'm going to speed some of this up because there is a lot of this involved, a lot of wrapping. Have some more wool, and I'm just going to tie these together. I know some of that's unrolled, but that's fine. Just tie them together. You can tie them any way you like. There's no right or wrong way to do any of this really. But I have found the neater or the more systematic you try to do this, the kind of less pretty they are really. Right, so that's enough of that one. Now I'm going to move to some eyelash trim. Of course I've lost the end. Just trim that. Journals onto. Okay, now I'm going to go to this very funky wool. So we've got another end, and now we get into the stage where we kind of need to add some of our beads and different things like that. So I'm going to leave that piece hanging for a second. Will it tie? It's not quite enough there to tie that on. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab an offcut of lace. What else do I have here? I'm going for these, looks like I'm going for these brown tones. This wasn't the kind of, I've got a little odd piece of sari here. What else do I have? A little piece of green sari. Okay, just give me 1 second. This one I'm going to bring in a little piece of nature because this is quite dark. So this particular part is inspired by the wonderful Susan. This was going to be the second one. I was going to do the naturey themed one second, but it seems to be naturally occurring. So we're going to go with it now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by, let's go for the thicker wire first. Actually, it's not thicker. It's just a piece of wire. And I've got no idea what it is because it was in a bag. It came from Amazon. Just pulled out a piece of wire. Just that simple. That simple. And I'm going to go for, I'm going to add a piece of this sari at the bottom. And I've got my twig. So I'm going to add my twig. And this is the piece that was left off. So I'm going to start by, okay, sorry, the battery's running low, would you believe? After all this time, me finally coming up with a video and then running out of battery. So I'm going to get the end of the wire and I'm going to poke it down the end of these pieces, just a little way so we don't have a raw edge. And I'm just going to make sure I'm catching those ends. And I'm going to start wrapping, and there's no right way or wrong way. I'm just going with it, just wrapping. And then as I start to come back down, I'm going to add a piece of lace and another piece of random sari silk. So it's going to start to look a little bit more tatty and organic, which is the look I'm going for. Let's call it organic, not tatty. I love the word tatty though, it's one of my favourite words. Okay, so now we have that. So now I'm going to take, I've got some very, very cheap green wire. I'm going to use this one, and there's the end. This came in a multi-pack from Amazon, and again I'm just going to use my scissors to cut this because this one is very fine. Let's tuck in from the bottom. No, let's go from the top again this time. I'm just going to tuck a little piece in from the top and start to wrap. And now I'm going to grab, I've got some of these tiny beads. Let's have a look, which ones shall I go for? These ones. And these are rare beads. And I get them absolutely everywhere. I'm just going to put a few into the lid. So I've got my edge. Okay, so now I've got a few beads and I'm going to have them kind of on top of the lace so there you can see them. I'm just going to wrinkle this lace up a bit because it's far too neat and large. There we go, that's much better. So let's start wrapping this one, and then I'm going to get to here. And I'm going to just go through these beads. I've got this brown wooden bead, which is kind of perfect for this. So what I'm going to do is just wrap the wire around the bead. There we go. And then wrap a little bit more. And what else have I got? Okay, I want to start adding some dangling things. I'm just going to cut this one and cut this one. Okay, and I'm going to thread this wire through. And a bit more wrapping. You just need to make sure you're not wrapping over your piece, your hanging piece. Right, now this particular wire is so thin I can just push that into my stick. So far we have this. Now I already know that I want to kind of pat that down slightly. This one I want to wire so it's a little bit more upright. So I'm going to get a heavier wire again now. I'm going to go for this one again. Wrap some more. Just pull a piece off. And I always start from right at the very top or right at the very bottom so I can tuck my wire in. I can just slide it down the top there a little bit so it's not going to cause any problems. Right, now I'm going to get to this, and this is the bit that I'm not happy with, so I'm just going to hold that down a bit more, and I want something up the top, and I'd like to go for something, let's go for a bee. Now you could put these onto jump rings. I'm not going to. I'm going to put that in there and slide it down. Okay, and what I'm going to do is, just hope you can see this, I'm going to take that like so, and I'm just going to twist my bee, and then I'm going to pull that, and then it's actually attached with a little loop. Okay, and a bit more wrapping, making sure I don't catch my dangling piece. Okay, then I'm going to just start going back up. Watch I don't catch my bee, and when I get to here, which of course I did catch my bee. There we go. I want something else dangling. Let's go for this red. I'm going to cut that jump ring off there. This is just pieces of broken jewellery. So I want this to hang around this side. So it's just a case of wrapping your wire, deciding where you want something to go. And I'm going to just again try, if I can. This might not be so easy to twist, so I'm going to twist it. I'm going to twist the wire rather than the bead this time. So can you just see? I've just twisted. There's a little twist around that piece. And then bring that back up. Okay. So here is my stick so far. I think this one actually, with the stick as well, the twig, I think this one's probably got enough on it now. I love them. I love them. So what I would do is you can either attach this, well you could attach it to a jump ring. What you could do if you wanted to is attach it to a bulldog clip before you even start. Now let me see if I can find one. So let's say you've got your clip, you could thread that through your wire before you make your loop, and then you can attach that. But I'm going to use jump rings to attach my clip. Okay, so that's just, you know, an idea. But you can also, if you don't have wire, what you could do is you could make your loop with the thread and have the thread at the top, and then start to wrap. So you can still hang this from a journal. You don't have to have the wire, and even the beads and things can all be threaded on. So of course my battery died. This one I made completely out of sticks, and I haven't wrapped it anywhere near as much. As you can see, it's just sticks, and there's no wish inside this one. But what I might do is actually hang a charm with some words on the bottom of this one, just so it, you know, there is still a wish with it. Let's use these. The other thing I'd planned on doing is making one in reds, so that's the one we're going to make now rather than another stick one, but I'm going to talk to you as I make it, so I'm not going to be giving instruction as such. Yeah, 2021. Somebody posted in the group about if you pick a word for 2021 to inspire and to help you, motivate you, and kind of get you through the year, I guess, as a way of helping to come up with ideas. Finding it very difficult to talk and do this at the same time. So I've got the sari silk on here. I'm just going to carry on working and try my utmost to explain to you my plans for 2021. Now, let's talk about the Facebook group first. My Facebook group. I'm going to do as much as I can to continue to support people in my group. Without a doubt, that's important to me, and it's something that I'm very passionate about. Now, I know that a lot of people find that they lose their mojo, they lose their kind of motivation. So I'm going to make sure that we have a monthly challenge. It's going to be probably much more simple than we have had in the past. But I'm going to make sure that there are challenges, simple things to just help you, to kickstart you if you've lost your way and you can't think of what to do. So that's something that I'm going to have to kind of get my head around and try and ensure that that happens every month. And again, I'll do the usual, you know, make sure that we have a winner each month for a digital kit of your choice from my shop. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to post a freebie in my group at the end of this also, as a way of kind of trying to help motivate and trying to help kickstart 2021 in the right way. Now, somebody posted a thing asking if you had a word or a phrase or something that you use in your journaling and journaling ideas to get you through the year, and lots of words were mentioned. But I've decided this year that I'm not having a word. I watched a movie a couple of weeks before Christmas, and some of you will know the movie when I tell you what I've decided to do. But I tried to think about things that went good and well and worked in 2020 and things that didn't work well. And I would say 90% of the time it was about attitude. It was about how I was feeling when I was doing whatever it was that either worked or didn't work in 2020. So I saw this movie, and the phrase that was used was begin each day on purpose. And I think that the days where I started the day on purpose, I had motivation when I got out of bed, those are the days that went well. And that's going to be my kind of ethos, if you like, for want of a better word, for this year. I'm going to do my absolute best to start each day on purpose. And as a way of kind of recognising that I need to do that, this is terrible. I just can't do that and talk at the same time. I'm really sorry. Basically, I've put together a freebie digital for my Facebook group, And these are all to try and help you begin each day on purpose. And if you lose your way, to give you some motivation or some techniques to use to improve that day. So I've made a tag, and I'm probably in another video maybe going to decorate my tag, and I'm going to have it hanging where I can see it, just to remind me to begin each day on purpose. I've made a few art prompts, journal prompts, life prompts, whatever you want to call them. But I've concentrated on 3: you, learn and challenge. And these are 3 that are really important to me. I'm going to make sure that I'm learning more and more this year, and I'm going to make sure I'm challenging myself. But this also means if I get stuck, that I might take part in a challenge just to kickstart me, to remind me that there are things out there that I can do. Okay, so these you can cut out. I can't. Oh, here am I. Oh, no, can't get them, the drawers. There's some stuff in front of the drawer, but I've just cut mine out, put them in a little box, and I've put the word prompts on the top of the box, just so, you know, I can pull one out if I get stuck. And I'm a huge believer in planning. Not necessarily planning as in journal planning, planning my day, but plan a project, plan my ideas, map my ideas out, you know, what project I've come up with, what materials I'll use to do that. But also this can be used for journaling, it can be used for artwork, it can be used for your day generally. So what are your goals for that day? What do you need to do to achieve those goals? Any notes that you want to make, and then achievements. And this could be as simple as clean the bathroom. And I know I'm going to do that. So clean the bathroom will be an achievement. Or it could be make pockets for my new journal. What do I need to do? I need to cut my cardstock. I need to sew. I need to, whatever I need to do. This could be used in so many ways. But I just thought it might help in 2021 to just pop these into the Facebook group as a kind of prompt and a help, really. So yeah, what else? My huge plan for 2021 is use my stuff. Use stuff I have, not buy so much stuff, no matter how much I want it and how fabulous I think it is, because I think we all do that. I have so much packaging, and that is probably going to be the focus of several videos at the beginning of this year for sure, using up some of these scraps that I have, because I have so many scraps and I have so much cardboard packaging. I'm going to be using that. I'm going to come up with some new ideas, hopefully. It's not always easy to come up with new ideas, but maybe variations on existing ideas may happen. I can't promise anything. This one's starting to look a little bit Christmassy, actually. Make more time for YouTube, because YouTube is a huge resource that I feel like I miss out on quite a lot. I don't always have time. Actually, I'm only going to put that round the bottom. I'm not going to add any more of that. Yeah, it's just use what I have. Really be a bit more mindful about the environment, because I am very passionate about the environment, but seems to have lost sight of that towards the end of the year. You know, I think being stuck at home, it's easy to get caught up in consumerism and just buy things because it makes us feel better. So yeah, they're some of my plans for 2021. I'm determined to make more journals, which has not come, my decision to do that hasn't come at the best time, because we can't post anything at the moment. Let me just twist this. Try and learn to multitask. You know, I thought women were supposed to be good at this, but I've got to a certain age where multitasking seems to be an absolute impossibility for me now. No matter how hard I try. As you can probably tell from this disastrous part of the video. Okay, that's the final one done. I really love this one. This is very bright and very colourful, and now I'm going to have to try and make a journal for this to work on, which I'm sure I can do. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope I haven't bored you too much with my chattering. I will be back with more crafting, because I'm definitely going to be doing a video every week. That's my goal. I'll put the freebie into my Facebook channel. I'll put the links to the other collaborators below. Please do go and check them out. Please be safe. Please be safe. I cannot stress that enough. That's my biggest message for 2021. Keep crafting, have fun, and support each other. And I'm always here for you. I will see you all soon. Bye.